Excuse me, class. Class!
Alright, this week I'm spending quite a bit of time in my basement trying to get a jump start again on all of the remodel that we're doing. The month of January and the first part of February we got busy doing other things, and I really need to get this done. My goal is to have this done, week and a half, 2 weeks, end of February-ish. So I got to get on it. We're doing a lot of shiplap. Almost all of the walls and ceiling are going to be shiplap. We do have some in the bathroom that'll be tile on the walls behind the tub and the back of the shower. But the rest of it, shiplap. That's a lot. I was using a router table, and that was just taking a long time. I don't have a proper setup for my router table. I don't have a proper dust collection system, and so it would clog up after every couple of boards, started burning boards. So then I started freehanding it, and I used my 3/8 inch bit. It's supposed to be 3/4 inch wood, so 3/8 would be halfway, be perfect. Well, it turns out my wood is like a 1/16 over 3/8. So I went and got a 1/2 inch bit. Thought, hey, that'll work. But I was having a hard time with that, and I don't feel safe with it. I know everybody says it's safe, but these things are turning. I don't even know what the speed is, 38,000 RPMs or something. I mean, those routers are turning at super high speeds, and the only 1/2 inch bit our local store had was in a 1/4 inch shank, and I'd be going, and sometimes you'd feel it vibrating, and I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna risk having this thing coming off at me at that kind of speed, and with it's just a chunk of sharp metal. So what we have is a Dado blade. Check it out. Alright, this is called a Dado blade. This is a 220 Grizzly it's a Grizzly 220 volt table saw. This is a very nice table saw, and this is a Dado blade. This one's made by Freud, and it's a stacked blade system. You have an outer one, and on here, I don't know if I have I think I have all of them inside. Here's an inside blade right here, a tooth for it. This is the outside blade right here, and there's an inside, and then there's one in the middle right here, and they're offset all the way through. I try to get them offset, and that way, as it is cutting, there's always some teeth somewhere cutting it out, and it makes a really smooth cut. It goes pretty quick. Now, I don't need one this thick, so what I think I'm going to do is cut it down to maybe just the 2 outside blades. I might put one of the middle blades in. I need to check that out. Hang on one sec. Okay, this is how they show you how to gauge the thickness of what your cut's going to be. So, as you can see, you can go from a very narrow cut to a very wide cut going down your board. 7/8 is the widest it's showing here, and that's you're going to put your A and B, which is your outside blades. You're going to put those on. Then you're going to put a chipper. You're going to put all 3 of the chippers. These in the middle here are the chippers. This is your A and B blade, and the 3 that are in the middle are chippers. And so to get 7/8 inch wide cut, you're going to use all 3 chippers. You're going to use both your outside blades, and then you're going to use 3 spacers. And your spacers, I tell you what, I'm going to have to take it apart to show it to you. Your spacers are inside here, and then you have what's called a shim, and they have different size. They have 200ths, 1200ths, 8,000ths, and 4,000ths of a thickness for shims, and they're printed right here on here, and these are your shims. Actually, I think this is one of the spacers right here. That's an extra spacer that this has. So you can, these are the spacers it tells you to use. And then here's the different size shims, like this one here. I don't know if you can make that out, but that's 4 thousandths of an inch shim, and you put those in there to get exact thickness that you're looking for. So it's a really nice little setup. They're not too expensive. I think this one, oh, I don't remember. It was somewhere between $50 and $100. And this is Freud, which is a really good brand. So we're going to take this apart and get it down to what I want to do is probably like a 3/8 inch. So a 3/8 inch is going to be the 2 outside blades, 1 chipper, and that's it. Nothing else needed. And that'll give me a nice clean cut rabbet right along the edge of these. So let's check that out. Alright, there's a few things that you need to think about when you're using a dado blade. First of all, make sure that you're locked out of your power. You don't ever want to change a saw blade while you have power to it. If this thing accidentally comes on, there go your fingers. Now this is a collar. This goes over here, and as you can see, I can't even put this one on. It's hitting the blade here. This is for a single blade, regular table saw blade that would come right up in the middle here. And this collar keeps you from having too big of a gap, so if you're working with smaller wood, it doesn't slip down into the saw. This is a far too large of a hole to be worried about having little pieces go off into it. This is the collar for a dado blade. These collars here, they're designed to fit right over, and as you can see, there's just enough space. Let me see here. There's just enough space on either side for it to turn freely. You don't have to worry about it hitting anything, and that is going to give you the clearance you need and the protection from having your wood fall down into the gaps. So now I need to take this back off, and it's time for us to take off this blade. There's one outside blade, and that's exactly what I'm using, an 8-inch Freud Dado. And here you can see I have some shims in here. Now I have not used this in at least a year, maybe longer, which is a shame. I need to be using this every week. I got these beautiful tools. I need to make them work for me. There's a regular spacer, and this is what I just took off, and what I'm taking off now. These are the chippers. As you see, a chipper, it's not a full blade. They have a tooth on each end, like so, and there's what I guess you'd call it like a raker or something. It's lower than the front of it, and those come through and do a good job of cutting out in the middle of your cuts. And I had all 3 of them on here, along with the spacers I needed. And this one I'm going to leave on because, well, I need it on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of our chippers out of here, and we're just going to use let's see, the A blade, the B blade, and a single chipper. There's no spacer in this. This will give me a 3/8 inch deep cut. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's about as good as it's gonna get right there. I've never actually used this on something this thin of a cut or narrow of a cut. I'm usually cutting 5/8 or thicker with it, but I think this is gonna do a clean job, a cleaner job than that 1/2 inch bit was using for the router. And it's gonna, I feel safer using this. Now you can see how this is stacked up here. There's the A blade, there's the B blade, and as you come through you'll see that there is this chipper right here, and there's the tooth for the chipper, and it's right behind this blade. That's just the way it's going to stack, but it'll come through and really clean out that middle section. And you have one here, and then you'll have one on the opposite side, and at the speeds they're turning, you should get a very clean cut. And there's the other side. So let's get the height where we want it, probably about 1/2 inch, and start cutting. Now you're going to see here I have this frame going around my guide here, and this is basically going to be used like a sacrificial board. You can see how it's been used here before. It allows the blade to have something other than my plastic guide here to cut on, but it allows me to butt my board all the way up against it and push it through. So that's what we're going to use here. I am by no means a professional woodworker in any stretch of the imagination, but I do enjoy doing it. I've done a little bit of it, and this is how I know how to do it. So anyhow, time to get it all set up and get going. Well, while we've been in doing some shiplap, it has really gotten windy out here, and I have a feeling it's going to bring down some more trees, and it might bring down our big tent that we've been using as a storage facility for wood and hay. We've had some pretty strong gusts. I'd say we've had gusts somewhere around 40 miles an hour. And as you can see all around me, it's kind of just muddy, ice, snow. There's no snow, it's all slush right now. And it's beautiful, kind of, minus the mud. But we got a lot of snow yesterday. I say a lot, we got like 3 inches or so. But the temperature was like 38, 40 degrees, and it just hit the ground. Had it been really cold, you know, at least 20 degrees or colder, I bet that this snow would have accumulated and looked more like 5 inches or more, because this stuff was wet when it hit, and it snowed all day yesterday, just a little bit at a time, and it is slick. It sure is pretty. We've got quite a bit down right now. Up top they've got 9+ inches is what I was told. You can see a lot of it's thawed off on the south facing steeper areas, but this is just muddy, nasty. We don't like it when it gets nasty like that. You might be able to hear the wind in the video right now, but that wind cuts. It's cold. It's cold and wet right now, so it's cold. I like it cold and dry. Whew. Anyhow, time to get back to work. This has been doing pretty good. This little setup right here, been just running the boards down here. My son's down there catching them, and my other son here, JJ, he's been behind me just helping keeping the boards level. We have completed all of these so far. Just a couple of hours, really. It's not too long. It's longer than I was hoping, but it's not too bad. I think if we gave it just a couple of solid 8-hour days, we should be able to cut everything we need to cut, and then we can just start putting it up. And on these, with the shiplap here, from here to the edge, there's about a, I think it's a 9 1/8 inch is what we measured, which means I need right at 10 boards to go the full height of this wall with these boards. Now some of them, these are 1x10s. These here that I was using, I believe, are 1x8s. Whoops. So with those, I needed more of them. So we're going to finish this section of wall out here. I got another 1x8 that'll come in right here, and then it'll be 1x10 going up, and we'll get it all finished. Sure is pretty looking though. I love that blue stain look. We have some like this one here. This is what they call bird's eye. Hang on one sec. Get some light on it. This is called bird's eye. Not sure how well it's showing up in there, but you can see all those little spots in there, and it almost looks like when you're standing over bird's eye or off to the side, it kind of looks like there's a wave in the board, but there isn't. It's nice and smooth, and it's actually a defect, but it's a defect that a lot of people, I've been told, especially furniture makers, they look for it and they pay a lot of money for it. And we've got quite a bit of these, the bird's eye. Some of them are bird's eye and blue stain, and the rest of them are all just blue stain. So we'll be getting all the shiplap cut out, and hopefully by tomorrow evening we'll have almost all of it cut for at least for the blue stain. Then we got to do cedar for the closet and the bathrooms. But hopefully we'll have all that cut out, and then all that'll be left is cutting out what we need for our ceiling. So, yay! Ready to get this done. I really am ready to get it done. Just scared me. I don't like doing a lot of this because of this, but I had a flame coming out of this hole just a second ago. I put a screw right through this board here, and it just clipped the bottom of this wire. So I'm gonna have to probably the wire hooks up right here. What we may do is actually pull this wire out of the light, pull it through this hole, and at the least get it very securely taped up. If not, cut it back here and splice on a whole new piece to run to this box. And this orange one looks like it was slightly nicked. I mean, there was a flame coming out of here. It just shot out sparks, and then the flame came up and then went away. So when I have stuff like that, it gets me a little worried, a little concerned. You know, I definitely don't want to start a house fire because I punched a hole through an electrical line, especially an electrical line I can see. That's even worse. What's up there, girl? You dirty. Well, I almost went yesterday. I was going to take all the sheep and have them sheared. And we got a little dusting of snow night before last. And I wasn't sure what the weather was going to do. And it was cold. I think we woke up yesterday and it was like 9 degrees or something. And these are pregnant ewes, you know, and you're doing, I think we looked at it, if you get a 50-mile-an-hour wind, when it's 9 or 10 degrees or whatever it was, maybe we figured it at 20 degrees, I don't remember. But the wind chill factor is like 1.3 degrees in temperature. And you know, they're pregnant ewes, and we were going to take them to get sheared. And I didn't want to do that, you know, I don't want to stress them that much. They're not due for another 5 or 6 weeks, so we have time, plenty of time. But we got to drive about an hour and a half to the guy that's going to do it. He's the one that everybody recommends. If you want to, especially if you want to be able to keep your wool and process it, which is what we're going to do. And so, anyhow, we were told to expect some snow starting yesterday, and we've been told that many times this year. And you know, the thing about weathermen is they're so unpredictable on what they actually mean or what actually happens. You know, we've been told, oh, you're gonna get a couple of weeks ago we were told we were gonna get to expect 6 to 8 inches of snow, and it was a dusting. It didn't even stick on the ground in most of the places we went. And this one was, yeah, you're gonna get some snow. At least what I was reading 4 days ago. I don't look at it every single day, maybe I should. But it started snowing last night. It hasn't stopped, and it's not gonna stop till tomorrow. And it's not super thick, but this is, I don't know, this is probably getting to be I'd say close to 5 inches of snow. We have some friends, you can't see because of all the snow, but we have friends, if you go down this valley and up around and on top right over there, my wife just talked to them. They already had 19 inches of snow, and since last night they got an additional, I think she said 7 or 8 inches. And then, of course, y'all know Halfway Hollywood and his family, they live 45 minutes in the opposite direction. And earlier this week he said they were already at 20 inches. And when we get this kind of snow, usually they're getting like triple the snow. So if we've got 6 or 8 inches, they probably got another 1.5 to 2 feet. That's just a guess. I don't know. I could be wrong. I haven't talked to Halfway today, but I tell you, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you don't have to drive in it, it's wonderful. And I don't have to drive in it today. I don't think I have to drive in it tomorrow. It's absolutely beautiful when you don't have to drive. We had a friend just come over, and he had chain up. He brought his daughter over to play for a little bit, and they had to head out, and now they're on their way elsewhere. But our kids are remaining out here on the slopes, having a really good time. Look at my feet. They're just disappearing in this snow. So that'll give you an idea of how deep it is. Let's see. There's the ground. Yeah, anyway, and there's my third born daughter, and she is having a good time.
What are you doing, Daddy?
I'm filming, Bob. What are you doing?
I'm trying to look for
The snow is actually it's so powdery that they're having a hard time sliding on it. It keeps just bogging down. Oops. It just you have to go down pretty far before it'll start allowing you to slide on it. So anyhow, it's just a beautiful day. Lots of snow, and I expect by tomorrow, if they said it's supposed to stop tomorrow, if it's at this kind of pace the way it's been, and we've had it harder today with bigger flakes, we've had it about like this almost all day though. If it stays like this, we're going to have a foot or at least a foot, maybe a foot plus tomorrow when we wake up. All right, guys. Alright, this camera's going to go a little slower because my shutter speed is set for a low light situation. I was getting ready to go to bed and I had to get my son out of his room to come out. We forgot to get the sheet put up, and I realized it's about a full moon, though you can't really. Let's see if you can see the full moon. There's the moon. Can't really see it that well, but there's so much snow on the ground, and it's so lit up because the snow just reflects all of that light. And but we have, Caleb, come over here and put your hand to the roof of my car through the snow. No, from the top. Oh, okay. Caleb. I think we've gotten just over 7 inches of snow. So, yeah, we weren't expecting this. And it's supposed to continue to snow all night. We've picked up about 2 more inches over the last, probably 5 hours or so. And, yeah, it's gorgeous. I'm trying to decide if I kind of need to go to town tomorrow, so that'll mean I got to put the chains on to get out of here. But from what the forecast is saying, it's supposed to be back up into the mid-40s just in a few days, so all this will be gone. We get this a lot during the winter. It'll come down, everything's white, and then the next day it'll be, mud and dead grass and dead limbs. I've actually had some people who've commented on my videos saying, man, I'm a little confused because you're videotaping and there's no snow around, and then the next minute it's full of snow, and then it's not snow, and it's just a matter of where I'm at. If I'm going up top to grab something, we won't have snow here for weeks, and up there they'll have, a foot of snow and ice everywhere. We can have snow like this one day and the next day it'll be gone. Sometimes it'll stick around for a week or so. 3 winters ago we did have a winter where after Thanksgiving we got a hard snow, and it stayed until mid-February this time of year, and we ended up probably getting 25-30 inches of snow that year, and it just kept packing and packing and packing. That was a long winter. We got down to -12, -15 on our lows, and our highs we were at 0 and 1 for weeks. This winter hadn't been that way. It's not been a bad winter, and we actually are enjoying the snow. I'm glad to see the snow. Snow like this is more water for the ground when it starts to melt, and it's another round of precipitation to ward off wildfires in the summer. So anyway, just wanted to show you some of the beauty out here. at night, again, all my kids got up and came out whenever I got their brother out here. But it's about midnight, close to midnight. No, it's not. It's 11:15 right now. So it is beautiful. I'm glad I got a camera that can see this well at night. I cannot believe, actually it's lighter in the camera than it is outside. This is kind of amazing. I wish the shutter speed wasn't so blurry. But here I'll show you the porch railing that we keep an eye on the snow. Look at our steps. Snow's coming all the way up except where we stepped on it. This is the big room window from the house, and we look out here to see what kind of snowfall we got. I don't know how well that's going to show up, but this right here is a 2x4, and this above it is about 7 inches of snow. So just to see what kind of fresh snowfall we got, I do like to come out here and just clear off an area down to the banister, and in the morning I can come out and look and see if it's got 2 or 3, 4 inches of snow on it. We know where we stand on how much we got last night, or might look just like that in the morning. Don't know. I thought I was going to be able to catch the end of the snowstorm, but I'm about to have to chain up and get in the snowstorm. And wow, look at these. Big old icicles. I don't want anybody to have these fall down on top of them. Well, if you'll recall, last night I smoothed that out. That was all the way down to the banister, pretty cleaned off. So we got another 2 inches over the last, I guess it's been about almost 12 hours, 11 or 12 hours. So really is pretty. I hate chaining up, but I might try it without the chains. We'll see. I might be able to make it without chains. At least getting out of here. But sure is pretty. There's our sheepies down in the front yard. Well, we're headed to town, and the snow's pretty thick. It's pretty good. I think we've got 9 or 10 inches on the ground, and I put 2 of my 4 chains on this rig, and we're still sliding all over the place. It's quite nerve-wracking, but I need to go to town. I got to get money to the bank for bills. I got to get, I got to go meet a friend, not a friend, a colleague for work. And I guess he's a friend. He's a friend, yes, but we're colleagues, and we're meeting up for work. I'm taking my daughter for a play date. We had a lot of trash building up the last few days, starting to stink, so we decided to take that to the dump. So anyhow, it's just it's a nasty day for driving. I do love it when I don't need to drive, but here we are. I need to go to town, not having fun. When you slip and slide on a icy or snow-covered road into a ditch, that's already exhilarating. It's quite exhilarating. We were just coming up a spot that's probably, we were told it's like a 23 or 27 degree grade. It's very steep. It's got a turn in the middle of it. And it is a straight drop, almost straight. I wouldn't say quite straight, but if we rolled off the side, we're flipping and tumbling, I don't know, probably 150 or more feet down to the bottom there. And unless we get lucky and wrap ourselves around a tree on the way down. So it's never fun driving with this. All my friends keep saying, Aaron, you got to get off that hill. And I'd love to, if prices on land were around here were where they should be, I probably could. I probably could have bought some land a couple of years ago and already been heading out and moving somewhere a little different. Not all driveways are around here are as bad as this. In fact, most of my friends tell us this is the worst driveway they've ever been on, and they grew up here. So anyhow, as you can see though, it's a beautiful day. Snow's still coming down. I don't know when they're saying it's supposed to stop. I'm just crawling down this hill in low wheel, 4x4 low, first gear, and I'm not in a hurry, just not gonna be. Because once you start sliding, you're going fast enough at that point. So, and my daughter, who's handling the camera right now, she's just over, probably 18, 20 months away from starting to drive. And, you know, it's scary as a father to think about my little girl driving in something like this, but she doesn't even remember Texas, you know. If we got ice and snow in Texas, which was rare for us where we were, if you slide off, you're going into a little ditch and somebody's just got to pull you out. That's all there is to it. There's not this looming threat of cliffs and whatnot. And it's not even just cliffs. It's cliffs and then big boulders in it. You know, I mean, everything, you know, that a nightmare can be made of. So anyhow, 2 chains on. Maybe I should have put at least 3 chains on. I don't know. We're crawling along, still sliding a little here and there, but we'll make it. You know what? The tracks behind us, there's a lot of brown and some of the black rock is showing through it. So
Good.
we are above freezing, which is good and bad. When you get, we're at 33, 34 degrees, so we're actually above freezing right now, and it makes these roads, when you have this much ice on, it makes it very slick. So we're just taking our time. Our neighbors walked down. They didn't even put their chains on and go to work this morning. Didn't want to do that. So there is some rock showing where their footprints hit earlier. So that's nice. We get a little grip every now and then. This is the other steep spot coming up here on the way home. That's gonna be that view to grip. Not to grab. I didn't grab anything. I don't even want to be noticing how I grab stuff. That is some white snow in front of us though, you know. It's real pretty. It's got the shades of gray and white. White is the driven snow. What am I hitting? I'm hoping I changed it. Maybe I should have looked. Keeping that highway clean. It's good. Big truck. Slow down. Can't hardly stop. sliding, even with chains. It's always fun to slide into a highway when you got logging trucks coming. Get up. Thank goodness I did not want to crawl in this mud. Days like today, I don't like doing chains. Look at this suit. It's nasty. All right, that's how we get off our hill with 10 inches of wet snow. It's nasty, a little on the scary, exhilarating side, and you never want to really have to do it. So, hey guys, thanks for watching episode 6. We're gonna try our best to try to get these episodes out more regularly. I really want to get to a schedule where either Friday evening or Sunday afternoon or something like that, Saturday evening, we have them loaded up. But at this point, I have been getting very busy, and I'm having a hard time getting all the time I need to do all the editing. If you'd like to help our channel out, we are an Amazon affiliate, and we have links below. Go down, click on those links, check out some of the products that we use here at the Homestead. Any purchase you make through those links, a little bit helps us out every time. We're gonna have a website coming out here soon where we'll have a lot of things that we're gonna be offering, such as grass-finished beef and lamb. Now, the hard part is, I don't know if I can sell out of state. I gotta find a butcher that's USDA certified. That's hard to come by here in Idaho. If I can do it, it's gonna have to be probably, well, I don't know, there might be a place I can go 2 hours away. That's the closest one. Other than that, it'll be 7 or 8 hours. So we might not be doing that. Anyhow, at least out of state. We got the hatchery getting ready to start producing here in the next month and a half. We got lambs getting ready to lamb in about a month and a half. Everything is really starting to ramp up. I know you look around, you see 8+ inches, 10 inches of snow, and you're thinking, ain't no chicks coming anytime soon, but it's right around the corner. We're almost out of the darkest 4 months of the year. We're looking forward to our longer days coming, and we're looking forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks again, guys.